Spending just 1 hour a day can really transform your life. Not someday, not later, right now. If you use that hour wisely, it's more than just a suggestion. It's a challenge to rethink how you spend each day. Most folks just scroll, complain, wait, or stick to their usual routines, hoping something will change. But here's the truth. If you focus just 1 hour each day on yourself, everything starts to shift. It's not magic. It's about being intentional. This audiobook isn't about hype. It's about creating something real. You'll discover how to turn that 1 hour into discipline, clarity, progress, and lasting confidence. Ask yourself, how long have you felt stuck? How long have you talked about wanting to change? It doesn't take all day. It takes 1 hour, again and again. That's how real change starts. Now picture this, 1 hour, just 60 minutes. That's only 4% of your day. Yet, so many people waste hours scrolling through their phones, binge-watching shows, complaining, or just waiting. But they won't spend even 1 hour on themselves. That's why many never reach their potential. Change doesn't rely on luck or perfect timing. It's about discipline. It's about making a choice. If you're not where you want to be, chances are you've been dedicating your time to the wrong things. Time reflects your priorities. Spending 1 hour a day on yourself tells a powerful story about what you think you deserve. If you commit that hour not just to relax or escape, but to build, study, reflect, train, and grow, you won't even recognize yourself in a few months. You don't need anything elaborate, a chair, a notebook, a quiet spot. What you need is discipline, consistency, and above all, honesty. 1 hour a day can truly change your life. It all begins with your thoughts. Weak thoughts lead to weak actions. But when you sharpen your thinking, your life really starts to change. You begin to ask better questions. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You start protecting your peace. Instead of reacting, you become intentional. That's the change that sticks. And guess what? It starts with just 1 hour. Here's the key. You already have the time. You just need to take it. Some people say they're too busy, but busy with what? You can't be too busy to improve yourself. If you don't carve out time for growth, life will make you find time for regret. Life doesn't slow down, and neither should you. Use that 1 hour to take charge. Sit down and be real about what you want. Don't fool yourself. If you've been lazy, own it. If you've been distracted, recognize it. And if you've been waiting for someone else to save you, stop right there. No one is coming. That's not a pessimistic view. That's empowering. If it's up to you, you can make it happen. You don't need to be perfect or incredibly talented, and you don't have to rush. What you need is consistency. Show up for yourself every single day. That 1 hour gives you the edge. While others are resting, you're improving. While others are wandering, you're learning. When people feel stuck, you're growing. That's the difference between living deliberately and drifting through life. Start small with that hour. Figure out what truly matters to you. Maybe you read a meaningful book, something that challenges you, not just filler. Or maybe you write your thoughts down, clear your mind, and find some clarity. You could also use that hour to move your body. Exercise discipline, sweat it out, and remind yourself that you're not your excuses. You can build something during that hour too. A skill, a business, or a personal project that gives you a sense of control over your future. It's okay if you're not great at it now. Practice is part of the journey. Use that hour to make progress. Little steps really do add up quickly when you show up regularly. You might think, what if I miss a day? Don't quit. Don't beat yourself up. Just start again. That's where your strength lies, showing up once more. Don't let one slip become a whole week of setbacks. You're not aiming for perfection. You're striving to be better than you were yesterday. Over time, that 1 hour will transform you, and not just on the surface. It will change how you express yourself, how you enter a room, and what you accept. You'll start to stand tall and trust yourself again. When you look in the mirror, you'll see someone who keeps their word, and that's powerful. Most people let themselves down daily. They promise to start a new habit tomorrow, to wake up early, or to stop wasting time, but their actions don't line up with what they say. When that goes on for too long, it makes you feel weak. You might think that change is too tough, but it's not. You just haven't committed to dedicating that 1 hour each day. Here's the reality. Success isn't complicated. It's not a secret reserved for a select few. It's available to those who make the choice every day. And choosing means turning down things that drain your energy. It means setting limits. It means getting things done even when no one else is watching, especially then. That's where true character lies. Spending 1 hour a day shows you that you can rely on yourself. It teaches you that your future matters more than your current comfort. Time isn't a burden, it's a tool. If you stick with that 1 hour, your confidence will rise. You'll stop waiting for the perfect moment and stop seeking others' approval. You'll recognize that the life you want doesn't come from luck, it comes from your effort. 1 hour of focused work each day adds up. In 1 month, that's 30 hours of growth. In 6 months, it's 180 hours invested in your future. And in a year, you'll have put in 365 hours while others remain stuck in the same routine. You need to look at your life and ask yourself, am I using my time to hide from life or to grow? 1 hour won't change anything if you let it slip away. But if you use it wisely, if you guard it like it's your future on the line, it will change everything. So start today. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation comes after you take the first step. Just dive in. Set a time and make it non-negotiable. Don't feel the need to explain it to others. This is your life and your hour. It's time to give yourself what you truly deserve. If you can dedicate just 1 hour a day, really engage with it, you'll feel a shift you haven't felt in ages. You'll feel momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Confidence leads to courage. Courage can flip your life upside down, not tomorrow, not next year, today. Just 1 hour a day can make a real difference, but only if you choose to prioritize yourself. Most people underestimate what they give away when they hit snooze. It's not just minutes, it's control. When you don't get up with a purpose, your habits, mood, and distractions take the lead. Over time, you might feel like you've lost control altogether. That's why getting up early on your own terms is more important than you might think. It isn't just about waking up, it's about waking up to your life. Every moment you linger in bed longer than planned is another opportunity lost. It's not a sign of weakness or laziness. It's about deciding to take charge of your day. If you let the day take the reins, it'll lead you where it wants, not where you wish to go. Getting out of bed early is about managing your life, not just your time. The first decision you make sets the stage for everything that follows. If you start out hesitating, you'll likely end up scattered. If you start with doubt, your confidence will waver. But if you take action right away, your day kicks off with strength. When you get up when you said you would, even if it's tough or no one else is around, you learn something powerful. You discover that you have control over yourself. With that sense of control, life starts to feel like a world of possibilities. You stop letting your emotions call the shots and break free from old habits. You begin to make choices based on who you want to be, not just how you feel in the moment. Many people say they want to change their lives, but that change doesn't start at the gym or the office. It begins when your alarm rings and you choose to get out of bed. That's where true discipline is born, not from some grand moment, but in the quiet of your own room when you pick action over comfort. You don't need to feel excited about getting up, just be willing. Stop waiting to feel ready. That's the real trap. People often believe they need to feel great before taking action, but if you wait for that feeling, you'll be waiting forever. Progress begins when you take that first step and keep stepping day after day. Those early mornings can become your secret weapon. The folks who get ahead aren't always the smartest or most talented. They're just the most consistent. They show up before dawn, cutting out the noise and distractions. They know that first hour is the most genuine part of the day, just you and your choices. Those choices accumulate. One early morning leads to 2, then a week, and eventually a month. Before you realize it, you've created something that most people never achieve: momentum. That's what builds your confidence. It separates those who just talk about change from those who actually do it. Anyone can say, "I'll get my life together tomorrow," but only a few are willing to stand up day in and day out and follow through. You have to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the person who hits snooze and watches life slip away from a cozy pillow? Or do you want to be the one who takes charge, declaring, "This is my time and I won't waste it"? No one is going to hand you the life you want. You have to grab it, and it all starts with how you kick off your day. There's something empowering about being awake while the world is still quiet. No pressure, no chaos, just you, your thoughts, and a fresh opportunity to move forward. Most people overlook that chance because they sleep through it. They think they can catch it later, but later often turns into never. If you make waiting a habit, the person you want to become stays on the other side of discipline. And discipline begins in the morning, not when it's easy or convenient, but when it's dark, cold, and your bed feels cozier than your dreams. That's when you shape your future. You'll never know what you can really achieve until you ignore that voice saying, just 5 more minutes. Each time you resist that temptation, you build strength. Every time you get up when staying down seems easier, you develop an identity you respect. That's true confidence. It doesn't come from applause or validation from others. When people believe in you, it starts with showing yourself that you're in charge of your actions. Let's be real. This isn't about turning into some kind of robot who gets up at 4 a.m. every day. It's not about flaunting perfection. It's about taking back your time. You don't need to go overboard. You just need to be steady. Set your alarm early enough to work on what truly matters to you, not what society expects or what notifications bombard you. Focus on what your future self will appreciate. If you're feeling stuck, this is your starting point. You don't need a flawless plan or a lengthy to-do list. Just get up, reclaim your time. Use your mornings to clear your mind, move your body, think, write, create, breathe. That 1 hour of ownership makes the next 23 hours easier. When you kick off your day with intention, that energy sticks with you. But if you start with procrastination, distractions, and self-doubt, that negativity tags along too. Your mindset in the first hour seeps into everything else. That's why it's crucial to guard it. Don't wake up to chaos or flood your mind with your inbox. Wake up with a purpose. Wake up driven. Sure, your bed feels cozy in the moment, but that comfort comes at a price. It costs you your goals, your motivation, the person you aspire to be. Over time, that price adds up in missed chances, wasted potential, and frustration. You start asking why nothing is falling into place when the truth is, you've been giving your day away before it even begins. That's a tough reality most people shy away from. But if you're ready to face it, if you're willing to change, everything can shift. You don't need a miracle. You need to move. That movement starts the moment your feet hit the ground. That's your first win of the day. If you can claim that victory, you're already ahead. So take that decision seriously. It's not just about waking up, it's about showing up and focusing on what matters before the distractions kick in. And when you do this day after day, you become unstoppable. Reclaim your mornings, your focus, your day. Because once you get out of bed with intention, the world shifts around you, and you start shifting within yourself. Your future really does depend on what you focus on. Everyone wants a better tomorrow, but many never get there. It's not for lack of effort. Most people just end up spending too much time on the wrong stuff. Remember, your life flows in the direction of your attention. If your attention is all over the place, so is your life. And if you're focused on things that don't truly matter, you'll waste your energy chasing quick pleasures while your bigger goals get neglected. That's the tough reality many avoid facing. The life you're creating hinges on what you choose to concentrate on every single day. It's easy to talk about wanting success or growth, but it's not just about what you say. It's all about where your attention goes when no one's watching. If you're caught up in drama, worried about what others think, or stuck in comparison and insecurity, you're feeding the wrong future. Your attention is your superpower. Where it goes, your energy follows. And from that energy, your results will come. Each day, you get to decide what to think about, what to work on, and what to chase after. If you constantly let distractions pull you in, you'll end up reacting to life instead of creating it. Watch out. Most distractions don't seem like distractions at first. They might look like notifications, entertainment, small tasks, or other people's problems. But slowly, they pull your focus away from what truly helps you grow. You need to be aware of this, because no one else will guard your attention for you. The world doesn't mind if you waste your focus. In fact, it benefits from your distractions. Your future can only flourish when you concentrate on things that push you forward. So train yourself to resist what's easy and choose what truly matters. Not just sometimes, but every day. Ask yourself, where is your attention going? Are you spending hours dwelling on mistakes? Are you always checking who liked your posts? Is fear taking up too much room in your thoughts? Your attention is limited and you can't get it back. If you're not careful, you might spend your time without ever getting closer to the life you desire. If you want to grow, get clear on what truly moves you forward. Decide what skills are worth your time, what goals deserve your full attention, and which parts of your life need focus. When you realize that your focus should be built, not just maintained, everything shifts. Suddenly, your attention isn't just passing the time, it's an investment. And investments create something meaningful. They shape your future. Being busy feels like you're accomplishing things, but being focused actually makes an impact. It can be tough because real focus requires effort. It means sitting down, saying no to distractions, and dedicating your mind to one task. Most people shy away from that sharp clarity, not out of laziness, but because it forces them to confront what they've been avoiding. Once you direct your attention to what really matters, excuses don't hold up anymore. You'll start realizing where your time is wasted. You'll see the flaws in your habits and distinguish between just being active and actually making progress. It's uncomfortable, but it's the start of real change. You don't need more time. You need to focus better. If you hit one goal for just one focused hour a day for a year, you'd be a completely different person in 12 months. But here's the catch. We live in a world that's constantly vying for our attention. Scroll here, click there, answer this, react to that. If you don't take charge, your focus gets pulled in every direction, none of which will lead you to the life you want. It's not about working harder, it's about making sure every bit of effort counts. You could waste 5 hours on 10 small, meaningless tasks, or you could dedicate 1 solid hour to something that genuinely enhances your life. That's the key difference between just moving around and making real progress, and it comes down to attention. Train yourself to recognize when you're drifting. If your mind wanders to things that drain you, pull it back. You're not a robot. You control your focus. The more you practice, the stronger your attention gets, just like a muscle. At first, it may be tough to stay locked in, but over time, you'll think more clearly, dive deeper, and move faster toward your goals. Start by deciding where your attention needs to go. It could be that project you've been putting off, your health, learning something new, or fixing something that's been broken for too long. Whatever it is, commit to giving it your full attention every single day. Don't waste your best energy on what's convenient or left over. What you feed grows. You've got to guard your mind against information overload. You really don't need to know every little thing happening in the world all at once. Skipping every video, reading all the comments, or getting caught up in every headline only clouds your clarity. When your mind is cluttered, your focus becomes weak and scattered. Be choosy about what you let in. You're not obligated to consume everything out there. Pick what helps you think clearly, not what's just wasting your time. Remember, your focus shapes who you are. The more you concentrate on growth, effort, and progress, the more you see yourself as someone capable and in control. You won't be easily shaken by every little distraction. But if you're constantly bouncing around, chasing the next distraction, you'll feel anxious and unfulfilled. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because your energy is scattered without purpose. This shift in focus won't just happen. It takes daily discipline. Start each day by deciding where to put your attention before the world tries to take it from you. Set some boundaries. Turn off what doesn't help you. Say no to things that throw you off course. It's not rude. It's about building your future and respecting your time today. The most successful people treat their attention like it's precious, because it is. They don't respond to every ping or rush to explain themselves to people who don't matter. They focus and protect their time, staying grounded in what pushes them forward. You can do the same, but you need to stop trying to juggle everything at once. Multitasking won't get you to success. It's about depth. Depth happens when you really concentrate on one thing. That's how you master skills, earn confidence, and create real change. Take a good look at your life. Where's your attention right now? Who or what is taking up your mental energy? Is it helping you grow or just keeping you busy? Are you focused on finding solutions or stuck on problems? Are you building your future or dodging it? You don't have to tackle everything today, but you do have to start. Focus on what truly matters, even if it's just for an hour. Direct your attention to where your future can grow. Do this again tomorrow and the day after. Keep it up, and soon you won't have to chase success. You'll become the kind of person who naturally draws it in through discipline, clarity, and a daily commitment to focusing on what's important. Every morning, you wake up with time on your hands. That time can either be spent building something meaningful or wasted. Most folks just react to everything. They check their phones, scroll through social media, and rush from one task to another. By day's end, they've invested hours in things that don't mean much to them. Then they wonder why life feels dull, why they feel stuck, or why they aren't proud of anything. The answer? They didn't focus on anything meaningful. You have time, maybe not endless time, and maybe not perfectly mapped out, but you do have time. And with that time, you have a choice. You can repeat yesterday or create something that truly matters to you. This is what distinguishes people who move ahead from those who remain stagnant. It's not luck or opportunity. It's how they use their time, especially the moments that go unnoticed. People often claim they're too busy, but what they actually mean is they haven't prioritized what really matters. There's always time for what's important. The question is your growth significant enough to make the list? Is your purpose worthy of your focus and effort? Building something meaningful demands effort, focus, and the decision to push through discomfort, even when no one's watching or applauding. It matters to you, and that's what gives your life its meaning. It's not about going through the motions or ticking off tasks. It's about crafting something with intention, something you can reflect on tomorrow with pride. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You don't have to wait for the right mood. What you need is to simply begin with what you have: your mind, your time, your energy, and your vision. Whether it's writing a page in a book, recording your ideas, designing something, improving your health, or learning a new skill that brings you closer to your goals, it's about your next step. When you start building something, that's when you feel a sense of purpose again. You stop drifting, you stop chasing motivation, and start finding a real reason to wake up every day. Most people don't need a getaway. They need a purpose. They need something that shows them their time matters. Your time isn't just for getting by. It's for creating something meaningful. You don't have to achieve everything in a single day, but you do need to begin. Give yourself the green light to work on your goals, no matter how small or quiet. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll never find it. Life doesn't slow down for you to catch up. You've got to carve out the space to grow in the life you already have. There's real strength in working toward your own goals, especially when others don't understand them. You don't need anyone's permission or applause. What you need is consistency. Remind yourself daily that your time is precious, and how you use it shapes your future. That's not pressure, that's power. You don't have to wait for anyone else. You can start today to build towards the life you want. Don't let comparisons throw you off. Don't let someone else's timeline make you feel behind. You're not late, you're just not focused. The quickest way to get back on track is to sit down and start over. Start with just one idea. Take 1 hour, clear your mind, and dive in. You're not stuck, you just need to start building. Once you do, momentum will find you. You don't need to change your entire life in a day, but every day you can change something. Each day, decide to build. That mindset alone can completely shift how you live. Instead of waking up wondering how to get through the day, you'll wake up thinking, what can I create with this time? That's how you take control of your life. Most people want results but shy away from the process. But the process is straightforward. Show up and do the work. It's not always glamorous or exciting, but it works. Real growth happens in that space between wanting to do something and actually doing it, and that bridge is built with your time. So, take that focused hour. Guard it. Use it wisely. Not to scroll or waste time, but to create. Use your time to improve something in your life that you've been overlooking. When you start building, you make progress. And with progress comes hope, not because everything is perfect, but because you're moving forward. That's what building does. It pushes out doubt and gives you direction. It turns excuses into action and fear into responsibility. You're not just waiting for motivation, you're creating discipline. You're not waiting to feel ready, you're getting ready by taking action. That's a big change, and it begins when you stop wasting time. There's never a perfect moment to start, but every moment you hesitate is another moment lost. That's the real cost of delaying your dreams. So focus on today. No, not tomorrow or someday. Today. With the time you have, with your current mindset, with whatever energy you've got left, use it to build. Even if you're tired or unsure, just start. Remember, even small steps can lead to strong foundations when you take them consistently. One day you'll look back and see how the simple choice to invest your time in something meaningful altered your life. It didn't change because it was easy or quick, but because it was yours. You built it, owned it, and committed to it. Nothing can replace the feeling of knowing you chose to grow, not just stay busy. So build your health, build your mind, build your skills, build your peace, and build your future. Do it today, because today is the only time you truly have. If you dedicate your all to it, you'll get back more than you ever imagined. You have what it takes. You always have. Just stop giving your time to things that don't serve you. Start using it to create something that matters, something that lifts you up, something that lasts. Give your time a purpose today and watch your life transform. And remember, learn one useful thing that helps you grow. Growth isn't about doing more, it's about knowing more. Not just random facts, but something that truly alters how you think, act, and show up every day. You have the chance to learn something that can improve your life, something that sharpens your judgment, helps you make better decisions, and boosts your confidence. Yet many people never seize that chance. They wait. They say they'll get to it, but they get lost in all the noise. They pick entertainment over education, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Why do they keep repeating the same patterns? Why does it seem like nothing ever changes? If you want to grow, you need to become someone who learns on purpose. Not just once a week, not when it's easy, but every single day. You don't need to study for hours or sit in a classroom. Just one useful idea is enough. One concept that helps you make sense of life. One insight that helps you manage stress, money, time, relationships, whatever challenges you're facing right now. Because here's the truth. Your growth hinges on what you know. You can't act better until you think better, and you won't think better until you learn better. Every problem you face is either something you already know how to tackle or something you haven't figured out yet. When learning stops, growth stalls too. You end up stuck at the level of your last breakthrough. You recycle the same thoughts, lean on the same approaches, and keep making the same mistakes. Not because you're not trying hard enough, but because you haven't learned a better way yet. Just one useful thing each day. That's the idea. It could come from a book, a podcast, or even a quote that makes you stop and think. It could be a chat with someone you admire, or a mistake that finally makes sense. The source doesn't matter. What matters is how useful it is. Is it something you can apply? Does it change how you view your time, your effort, your future? It's not about cramming your brain with information. That's not growth. Real growth happens when you take one clear idea and start living by it. When you don't just hear it, but you actually get it, think about it, write it down, and ask yourself, how does this apply to my life today? This kind of learning transforms you, slowly yet deeply. Learning doesn't require genius. It requires hunger, a hunger to improve, to solve problems, to break free from feeling stuck. You can learn from anything if you're paying attention. But here's the catch. Most people are distracted. They scroll more than they think. They seek quick fixes instead of a deep understanding. They chase hacks but ignore mastery, and that's why they don't grow. It's not about lacking potential. It's about focused learning. If you want to live a better life, you need to truly learn about life. Understanding how your mind works is key. It's about knowing how your habits shape your future, managing your emotions, and building things that last. It's about speaking in ways that create trust and thinking long-term. You want to move with intention, not just react to everything that happens around you. None of this occurs by chance. It all begins when you sit down and ask, what can I learn today that will make me better tomorrow? Learning one valuable thing each day might seem small at first, but trust me, it adds up. Just look ahead 30 days and you'll have gathered 30 new ideas. That's 30 new tools at your disposal, 30 shifts in your thinking, 30 layers of growth. But it doesn't stop there. When you're consistent, those ideas begin to connect, building on one another. You'll start to see the world through a different lens. You'll make smarter choices, communicate with more confidence, and handle stress more effectively. You're transforming from the inside out. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel motivated. Learning isn't about feelings, it's about building discipline. Make it a daily habit. Don't ask yourself if you're in the mood. Just dive in because your future depends on it. You don't need to read 10 books a week. Sometimes just one powerful paragraph can hit hard enough to change your behavior. That's the essence of meaningful learning. It transforms your actions, which in turn shapes your results. Learning also conquers fear. When you feel stuck or uncertain, it's not a signal that something's wrong with you. It's a hint that you need to grow. You need to learn something that clarifies your next step. Most fear stems from confusion, but as you start uncovering the right knowledge, your mind will clear. You'll stop overthinking and start understanding, and that clarity will guide you. Make it a rule. Never let a day go by without learning something that fosters your growth. Not just trivial facts or surface-level tips, but knowledge that genuinely matters, something that helps you tackle life better and nudges you closer to the person you aspire to be. That's the kind of learning that really transforms you. And don't just keep those insights to yourself. Share them, teach them, jot them down, or find ways to practice what you learn. The more you engage with your new knowledge, the more it becomes a part of who you are, leading to real change, not just in what you know, but in how you live your life. So start paying attention. Be careful about what you let into your head. Don't take in things that confuse you, drain you, or pull you off track. Pick your influences with care. Go for content that pushes you to think, that strengthens your mindset. Your mind is the base of everything, so guard it. Feed it well, sharpen it, one good piece of knowledge at a time. You don't have to be the smartest person around, but you do need to be dedicated to learning. That's how you keep growing, no matter where you start, no matter how behind you feel, or what challenges you've faced. Growth isn't about being perfect. It's about what you pay attention to, what you learn, how you learn it, and how you apply it. The most influential people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who think clearly, speak meaningfully, and act wisely. Their insights come from reading, listening, reflecting, and asking better questions. You can be that kind of person too, but you have to make the choice. Make learning a must in your life. Every time you soak up something that helps you grow, you get stronger, clearer, more directed. That sense of progress builds momentum. You stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and stop chasing shortcuts. Now, your focus is on becoming better, not just wishing for an easier life. So why not start today? Learn one useful thing right now. Something that helps you think better, live smarter, and get closer to who you want to be. Do it again tomorrow and the day after that. If you stick with it, your life will change, slowly but surely, day by day, idea by idea, step by step. Growth is a choice, and it starts with what you decide to learn today. To feel strong and awake, get physical. Your body holds the energy you need to shape your future, but many people never tap into it because they don't move. They sit for hours, growing tired from doing nothing. When you don't move with intention, you lose the energy, clarity, and strength your goals require. That's why getting physical every day isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling alive, being present, and reminding yourself that you're capable of more than just sitting back and watching life pass by. You don't need to become an athlete, sign up for a gym, or have the perfect workout plan. What you really need is to take action. You need to get moving. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you perform, how you think, and how disciplined you are. When you move, your mind clears, the tension eases, and the excuses fade. You feel alive again. Engaging your body wakes you up like nothing else can. When your heart races and your blood pumps, something changes inside you. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting yourself. You begin to feel grounded, and you start believing you can tackle what's ahead. This is more than just working out. It's about building inner strength. There's a big difference between feeling exhausted from too much and being weighed down by too little. Many people feel drained, not because they are too busy, but because they aren't busy enough. They spend too much time sitting, ignoring their bodies, and now their minds feel heavy. You'd be amazed at how quickly that can shift just by standing up, stretching, walking, doing push-ups, or getting outside. Move your body, and you'll build momentum. You'll take charge of your feelings. If you're feeling stuck or down, moving is one of the quickest ways to change that. Don't wait for the right moment or the urge to come. Make it a habit. This needs to be a part of how you live. Stop waiting for energy to find you. Start creating it. Just 10 minutes of movement can turn your whole day around. It doesn't have to be intense, but it should be intentional. Involve your body in your growth. Too many people try to think their way into a better life, neglecting their physical side. But the mind and body are connected. A tired body clouds the mind, while a strong body supports clear thinking. When you develop physical habits, you also build emotional strength. You handle pressure better, and you push through challenges more easily. You become the kind of person who keeps going, even when it gets hard. The discipline you gain from moving bleeds into every part of your life. When you make yourself move, even when you don't want to, you teach your mind to act without waiting for your feelings. That's real strength. That's how you learn to keep promises to yourself. Trust me, you'll never regret moving your body. You won't regret the sweat or the effort. If you keep putting things off, you'll regret those days. You'll wish you hadn't lingered in bed too long, letting your muscles weaken and your motivation slip away. Every time you skip exercise, you're teaching yourself to accept low energy as normal. But the good news is, you can change that. It all starts with one choice: to move today. You don't have to follow the crowd. Just find what suits you. It could be a simple walk, bodyweight exercises, some stretches, or even dancing in your room. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be regular. Because consistent movement shapes who you are. The more you move, the more alive you feel. Your body is meant to be active, so don't let it fade away from being still. Doing something physical first thing in the morning can set a positive tone for your whole day. You begin with purpose, tapping into your strength and reminding yourself that you're in control. You're not just reacting, you're creating your day. You're not waiting to feel good, you're making it happen. That's what owning your life looks like, and that's where real change starts. Some people wait for motivation to strike, but guess what? Motivation comes after you move, not before. Stop looking for the perfect mood. Start taking action. When you get moving, you build respect for yourself. You stop letting yourself down. Trust grows, and with that trust, you navigate life with more certainty. Remember, no one can do this for you. No one can move your body for you. The strength you need comes from your discipline. This is your responsibility and also your chance. Every bit of effort you put into your physical health comes back to you as clarity, focus, and drive. If you've been feeling sluggish or off lately, start moving. Don't do it for perfection or to impress anyone. Do it to feel awake again. You don't need energy drinks or all the caffeine. What you need is a daily routine. Show up for your health. Choose strength over comfort. Prove to yourself that you can handle tough challenges. There's something incredibly empowering about feeling strong in your own body. You walk with confidence, speak with conviction, and take action without second-guessing yourself. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel. It's all about showing up with full focus, energy, and commitment. It starts with how you take care of your body. No matter where you're starting from, you can always make improvements. It doesn't matter how long it's been, you can begin fresh. You're not behind, you've just been still for a bit. Once you get moving, your body will remember. It craves movement. It wants to feel strong. Give it that opportunity. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't overthink it. Just get up and do something physical. Push through that initial resistance. Get your blood flowing. Feel your breath. Remind yourself what it's like to truly live in your body. When you do, something shifts. You become clearer, sharper, and ready for anything the day throws at you. You don't need long workouts or perfect form. What you need is to start right now, with whatever energy you have and in whatever space you're in. Do something that takes effort. Do something that makes you sweat and wakes you up. Remember, you're in charge of your health, your energy, your life. The aim isn't to be extreme, it's to be consistent. Movement should be part of your daily routine, not just a once-in-a-while event. You move because it's who you are now. You refuse to let comfort dictate your life. You move because your goals deserve your best self. Take care of your body, and it will look after everything else. Use your time wisely. Don't let another day pass without doing something physical. You owe it to yourself to feel strong, capable, and alive. You've got what it takes. Now, show it through action. Now, let's slow down and really check in with ourselves. Many people rush through life. They wake up, dive into tasks, check their phones, and go through the motions without tuning in to how they actually feel. They keep moving because slowing down feels uncomfortable. They don't stop to ask why they might feel heavy, tired, irritated, or disconnected. They think staying busy means they're productive. But real progress comes from awareness, and awareness comes when you slow down and look inside. You can't fix what you're not willing to confront. And you can't confront anything if you never take a moment to notice it. If you want to grow, to understand your thoughts and behaviors, you have to make time to slow down and reflect. It's crucial to dive into tough questions. What am I dodging? What anger am I carrying? What do I keep holding on to that no longer helps me? These questions don't rush in. They appear when you take a moment to be alone and honest with yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in tasks and routines. You might go days, weeks, even years without pausing to check in on what's brewing inside. You could be thriving on the outside, yet crumbling on the inside. You might be excelling but feeling hollow. Smiling around others but feeling frustrated in solitude where no one else sees it. But you feel it. That silent pressure inside doesn't vanish. It builds. If you don't confront it, it can break you. What you need is less noise and more clarity. You require a moment of peace. Give yourself the okay to pause, not to escape or scroll through your phone, but to really listen to your thoughts, your emotions, your needs. Sometimes the solutions you seek are already within you. You've just been moving too fast to hear them. Slowing down isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It's about being aware. It's about facing reality instead of pretending everything's fine. It's taking the time to check in, not just with your tasks, but with your mental and emotional state. Are you doing okay? Do you know what you truly want? Are you avoiding something? Are your actions driven by habit or intention? These questions are significant. They guide you toward understanding your path. You can work hard and fly fast, but still head the wrong way. You might tick off goals that no longer reflect who you really are. You won't notice this unless you stop and look inward. Build the habit of checking in with yourself every day. Make time to breathe, to think, and to evaluate what's working and what's not. This isn't about overthinking, it's about getting real. It's about owning your inner world because that shapes your outer results. If your thoughts are tangled, your decisions will be all over the place. If you're weighed down by emotions, your energy will be low. If your mind is buzzing with noise, focus will escape you. One of the most impactful things you can do is to spend quiet time with yourself. No distractions, no music, no phone, just you and your thoughts. Sit in silence and really ask yourself, what's going on? Are you holding on to anger? Do you feel stuck in a rut that doesn't suit you anymore? When you ask yourself these tough questions honestly, things start to become clearer. You stop lying to yourself, and that's when real change can happen. Many people shy away from this kind of self-reflection because it doesn't feel good. It's much easier to keep busy than to face what's really going on inside. Blaming others feels simpler than taking responsibility for your own mindset. But remember, you can't change what you're not willing to confront, and nobody else can do this work for you. It's up to you to be truthful with yourself. When you take a moment to slow down and really check in, you begin to notice things you may have overlooked. You might realize that some of your frustrations aren't even about today. They're tied to things you never dealt with from yesterday. Your stress isn't always about external pressure. Sometimes it stems from pretending everything's fine when it isn't. You might find that your tiredness isn't just physical, it's emotional too. Once you recognize these truths, you can start to work through them. Checking in doesn't mean wallowing in your pain. It means understanding where it's coming from so you can move ahead without dragging that baggage along. You can't step into your future while sidestepping your present. You can't create peace while holding on to confusion. So take a breath. Stop running. Just pause and see what's really happening inside. Ask yourself, am I proud of the thoughts I've been having? Am I giving myself the respect I'd like from others? Am I letting fear dictate what I do? These are the moments to reflect, not when you're just trying to seem okay, but when you're truly working towards being okay. The aim isn't perfection, it's awareness, and with awareness comes power. Slowing down reconnects you with what matters, the things you value, and your vision for the future. It sifts through the mental chaos so you can focus again. In that clarity, you'll find a peace that doesn't depend on what's happening around you. It's the kind that comes from being true to yourself. You don't need to wait until everything feels like it's falling apart to start checking in. Don't hold off until you're drained or anxious. Make it a daily habit. Take a few minutes each day to switch everything off. Close your eyes and listen to the real you, not the facade you present to others. That's where the answers lie. Give yourself the space to process it all. You don't need all the answers right now. What you need is to take a moment, stop running, and start asking better questions. Once you do that, give yourself some time to really listen, because your inner self is always sending you signals. When you consistently take the time to hear those signals, you grow stronger, not just in your mind, but in your heart too. You let go of the unnecessary pain you've been holding on to. You stop letting fear or pressure push your choices. Instead, you start picking what feels right for you. You begin to be this solid, focused, and self-aware person, and that's real strength. This isn't a quick fix. It's a lifetime journey. You'll never reach a point where checking in with yourself is unnecessary. Growth is all about change, and with that change come new feelings, fresh challenges, and different thoughts. The more you dive into life, the more aware you need to be. Don't shy away from this. Don't be afraid to confront what's real. Slowing down doesn't mean doing less. It means living with clearer vision, deeper purpose, and greater meaning. You owe it to yourself to stop pretending and be honest. Pay attention to your thoughts, your body, and how you behave. Every signal carries a message. Ignore it, and it grows louder. Listen, and you become wiser. The biggest growth comes not from pushing harder, but from understanding yourself better. That only happens when you take the time to slow down and look inside. So don't wait. Start now. Sit down, take a breath, ask the tough questions, and feel what's there. Remember, there's no need to rush. Just be real. When you get real, everything in your life starts to fall into place. Now let's tackle that problem you keep avoiding. You know the one. The one that pops into your mind, but you quickly shove it aside. It creeps up when you're alone and lingers in the background even as you work. You keep telling yourself you'll get to it later, but later never seems to come. You bury it under distractions and responsibilities, masking it with excuses and noise. But here's the truth. It's still there. Deep down, you know that you can't make any real progress until you stop running and face it. You don't need more time or more motivation. What you need is to confront it head on. It's time to deal with that issue you keep avoiding, the conversation you've postponed, the decision you're dodging, that habit you keep putting off, that responsibility you've been ignoring. It's still there, waiting for you. Just pretending it's not there doesn't make it vanish. If anything, it's growing quietly while you try to sidestep it. Every time you walk away, you give it more power. And before you know it, it starts to drain your energy, cloud your focus, and chip away at your self-respect. It's not impossible to tackle, but dodging something important only slows you down. You know exactly what it is. No one has to remind you. It's that nagging thought in the quiet moments, the one you dread discussing but just can't shake off. It creeps into your stress, shows up in your frustration, and lingers in your regrets. And you keep telling yourself you're too busy to tackle it. But here's the truth. Not dealing with it is costing you dearly. It's stealing your peace, zapping your energy and keeping you from being fully present in your own life. You don't need to fix everything right away. Just pick that one thing you've been avoiding and start working on it, step by step. The longer you push it away, the heavier it gets. That weight doesn't vanish. It hides behind your busy schedule. But the moment you face it directly, everything shifts. You stop running, stop lying to yourself, stop letting fear control your decisions. That's when real change kicks in. Get real with yourself. What are you really avoiding? What have you let slide for far too long? Maybe it's owning up to something you did. Perhaps it's breaking away from something that doesn't fit anymore. It could be about finally setting that boundary you've needed to set ages ago, or admitting that how you've been living just isn't working anymore. Whatever it is, running from it won't make it any easier. Only action can help. Facing a problem doesn't mean you have to solve it perfectly. It just means you stop pretending it's not there. Stop downplaying it. Stop acting like it's okay when it's not. That's the first step, acknowledgement. No blaming, no complaining. Just admit the truth. I've been dodging this, and it's holding me back. That simple realization can kickstart a change. Fixing something doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be a single phone call, a slight shift in your daily routine, a choice to forgive, a decision to quit, or even the courage to start anew. What matters is the intention behind it. You're no longer running, you're stepping forward. When you take on responsibility, you're reclaiming the ability to steer your own life. Instead of letting that unresolved issue drag you around, face it. Feeling scared or hesitant? That's completely normal. But those feelings don't mean you should back down. They just signal that you're dealing with something important, and important things deserve your attention. Avoidance might seem comforting at first, but over time, it does real damage. It erodes your confidence, steals your motivation, and quietly tricks you into thinking you can't manage your life. That's not true. You can handle it. You just tell yourself it's safer not to try. But safety isn't the goal. Growth is. Strength is. And freedom. That comes when you stop dodging the very thing keeping you stuck. You don't have to fix everything, just that one issue that keeps draining your energy. Ask yourself, what if I stopped running away from this? What would my life be like if this wasn't a problem anymore? Picture how good you'd feel if you dealt with it. The answer is likely clear. You'd feel lighter, sharper, more capable. So don't put it off. Take that first uncomfortable step. Have the tough conversation. Make that bold choice. Shake off the weight that's been on your shoulders for too long. You're not weak for having problems. You're human. But strength kicks in the moment you stop avoiding them. The moment you say, "This ends with me." Cleaning up your own mess can bring you the clarity you've been searching for. When you stop hiding from the truth, you can move forward with purpose again. You don't have to tackle everything today, but you've got to start. And what's waiting for you on the other side? Relief, not the kind from running away, but the kind that comes from facing life with bravery. You won't let fear take the front seat. You'll be living in line with the person you want to become. Confronting that issue you've been dodging will change how you see yourself. You'll regain your trust in yourself, walk taller, and make decisions quicker, knowing you're not someone who shies away from reality. You're the one who stands up to it. This is your moment. You don't need permission from anyone. You don't need a perfect plan. Just take back control. Focus on one problem, one area of your life. Dive into what needs your full attention. Approach it with honesty and courage. Believe that you can tackle what's been holding you back. Remember, you're not stuck. You're just sidetracked by what you're avoiding. Once you clear that up, you'll unlock new levels of focus, peace, and drive. And when you experience that, you'll wonder why you hesitated for so long. Don't let the day slip away without taking a step to address that issue. Make the call, jot down a plan, speak your truth, let go of what's weighing you down, and mend what needs mending. Just start. The version of you that lives freely without that burden is already within you. You just need to act like that's real, starting today. Keep track of your daily actions and stay consistent. If you're not monitoring what you do, you're just guessing, and guessing means losing control of your results. You end up relying on memory, emotions, and assumptions instead of real facts. That's how people work hard but don't make progress. They think they're on track, but if you look closely, the effort is all over the place. Some days they're all in, other days they drift. Change doesn't come from that. It breeds frustration. Writing things down is powerful. Just put pen to paper. When you track your actions, you create structure for your growth. You get real. No more vague thoughts like, I think I'm doing all right. Instead, you'll know you are because you have the evidence right in front of you. By recognizing your patterns, you'll understand your behavior more clearly. Tracking doesn't need to be complicated. It's straightforward. What did you do today that pushed you closer to your goals? What did you avoid? Where did your time go? What can you improve tomorrow? These aren't just questions. They're mirrors reflecting the truth you can't escape. The page won't lie or care about your excuses. It reveals your patterns, and those patterns shape your life. Many struggle with consistency because they're unaware of how inconsistent they truly are. They start strong but then fade. They accomplish something great on Monday only to forget by Friday. They wait for motivation to return, but it doesn't. Not because they're lazy or don't care, but because they lack a system. No tracking, no review. Finding a rhythm is essential. Without it, you lose your flow, your discipline, and your momentum. Tracking your daily actions keeps you honest. It builds real accountability, not to anyone else, but to yourself. At the end of the day, you should ask, did I do what I said I would? That question can truly change your life. It pushes you to focus on effort, not just good intentions. You have to confront the facts, not just your feelings. You don't need to be perfect. You won't hit every goal every day. The key is just to show up and track your progress. Did you try? Did you take a step forward, even a small one? That's what counts. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself, and you keep those promises through consistency. It doesn't mean taking huge leaps. Sometimes it just means showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Do what you committed to doing, especially on tough days. If you track your habits for just a month, you'll learn more about yourself than many do in years. You'll discover when you're at your best, see what distracts you, recognize your emotional patterns, and find where your excuses creep in. This awareness puts you in control. You stop reacting to life's ups and downs. Instead, you start leading your own journey. No one becomes great by chance. Every successful person you look up to monitors their actions. They review, reflect, and adapt. That's how they grow. That's how progress feels real. And when you start feeling that progress, it's addictive. You won't need motivation. Watching yourself improve even a little bit becomes the fuel that drives you. Tracking isn't about judging yourself or feeling guilty. It's about taking ownership and learning from your patterns so you can create better habits. Changing your life isn't about trying harder, it's about tracking smarter. Every time you write something down, you reclaim control from distractions, excuses, and forgetfulness. You make your growth visible. You take the unseen and turn it into something measurable, something to improve and celebrate. Consistency is the real game changer. But the toughest part? It's not starting, it's keeping going. That's where many give up, not because they've failed, but because they've lost sight of what worked. They forget how far they've come, thinking those small steps don't count. But when you track your progress, you'll see that those small steps are everything. 1 page a day, 1 workout, 1 hour of focused effort. Doing these things every day adds up. They multiply and lead to real changes. If your life feels messy, if your mind is all over the place, or if you're unsure about your progress, tracking is the answer. Don't wait for tomorrow or next week. Grab a pen and start a simple list. Focus on what really matters, not everything, just the important stuff. What you measure can improve, and what improves can be repeated. That's how habits form and growth sticks. You don't have to track forever, just long enough to find your rhythm. Once you do, things start to feel easier. Not because life changes, but because you change. You become more focused, more disciplined. You stop starting over. You stop drifting. You lock in. And that feeling of being locked in, there's nothing like it. You know you're serious about change when you begin tracking. It takes effort, honesty, and attention, but it also brings clarity. It shows you where you're strong and where you're slipping. And when you see that, you can improve quickly. You stop wasting time and hoping, and you start building. Keep your tracking system simple. Don't make it complicated. Use a notebook, a wall calendar, or a chart, anything that keeps your eyes on the prize. The key is consistency. 5 minutes a day to track what matters most can save you years of confusion and regret. You'll know what's up, and when you know, you can make changes. No one else can do this for you. There's no app, no person, no shortcut to replace your daily effort. But if you stick with it, you'll start to stand out. You'll be building what others only dream of because you're consistent. Consistency is what wins in the long run. Track what you do, witness your progress, learn from your patterns, and build that discipline. Stay consistent, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's tough. That's where the breakthroughs happen. That's how you create your future. One day, one page, one action at a time. Stick with it, because the person you become through this journey will be worth every single step. Keep repeating the habit until you evolve into someone better. Becoming better doesn't happen overnight. It's not about one big breakthrough, one book, or one decision. It comes from showing up day after day and doing what most people give up on after just a week. Change takes time. It's often uncomfortable, and it doesn't care about your feelings. It only asks you to commit. You don't need to go to extremes or impress anyone. What you really need is consistency with the habits that count. And it's not just for a short span. It's for as long as it takes. If you want to be stronger, sharper, more disciplined, and in control, you have to stick to the habits that create those qualities. Not just once or when it's easy, but repeatedly. You'll practice these actions until they become part of you. Eventually, you won't have to force them. They'll be automatic. That's when you know you've truly changed. Not because you promised, but because your actions reflect who you are now. Here's the catch. Most people stumble here. They crave the outcome but shy away from the process. They start something good, keep it up for a few days, and then give up. It's not because they can't do it, but because they expect change to happen overnight. It doesn't work that way. You don't improve because you put in a week of hard work. You improve by pushing through long after the excitement fades away. That's where you build character and leave the old version of yourself behind. You don't grow from occasional efforts. It's the daily habits that transform you. Whether it's reading, journaling, walking, meditating, or planning, you stick with it and it changes you. It shapes how you think and how you feel. You won't notice the shift right away, and that's the trick. One day, you'll look back and realize, I'm not who I used to be. Not because of one big leap, but because you consistently showed up, even when it wasn't fun anymore. There's nothing thrilling about repetition. It's often boring, quiet, and filled with doubt. You might not see immediate rewards. That's why it's tough and why many quit. But those who persist are the ones who truly grow. They get that the habit matters more than the feeling, and the action outweighs the mood. They understand that showing up, even imperfectly, is better than waiting for the perfect moment. This repetition builds trust, not with others, but with yourself. Each time you do what you said you would, you prove your words hold weight. You stop being someone who breaks promises to themselves. You break free from negotiating with laziness. Letting your feelings guide you might seem risky, but that's when you start to see things clearly. You begin to expect more from yourself, not because someone pressured you, but because you realize what you can achieve through consistency. There's a lot of noise out there, with everyone looking for shortcuts, trying to cut corners. But those shortcuts steal the journey. And that journey, that's where true growth happens. It's in the habits that real change takes place. It's not just about what you promise to do, it's about what you actually do over and over again. Repetition doesn't just build your discipline, it reshapes who you are. You transition from merely trying to truly living it. When you stick to a habit long enough, it stops being an action and starts becoming part of your identity. You don't just run, you're a runner. You don't just eat healthier, you honor your health. You don't just write, you are a writer. Once it's part of who you are, it gets easier to keep going. It's no longer a chore, but a way to stay true to who you aim to be. Your results might not show up immediately, but that doesn't mean nothing's happening. Each time you push through, it matters. Every effort builds up. Just because the mirror doesn't reflect a change today doesn't mean your body isn't getting stronger. Just because your mind feels drained doesn't mean your self-discipline isn't growing. You have to trust the journey long enough for it to reward you, and it will if you stick with it. That's the difference between being average and being great. The ability to stick to what's right long after motivation fades. It's about having the patience to keep doing the basics, even when no one's cheering you on. It's about the strength to persist even when you can't see the results. That's what empowers you. That's the foundation that everything else is built on. Stop switching up your plan every few days. Choose the habits that match your future and commit to them every single day, no exceptions. You don't need a whole overhaul. Just stay consistent with a few key actions, and they will transform you. And they will, slowly and then suddenly. When that transformation takes place, you won't need to convince anyone of your progress. They'll notice it in the way you talk, how you move, how you live. Repetition teaches you to push through resistance. You'll face days when your mind rebels, when every fiber of your being wants to back out or procrastinate. But those are the days that count the most, because that's when the real struggle happens. You try to go back, and your only task is to stop that from happening. Do it anyway. Show up, even if you're tired or unsure. Just don't break the chain. Each time you stick to that habit, you're growing stronger. You don't need 100 different habits. You only need a few that really count and the discipline to keep at them. It's not thrilling. It's not simple, but it's real, and it works. The people you look up to, they're not magical. They're consistent. They've figured out how to stay true to the process, even when it's slow, tough, or quiet. That's where the difference lies. This works because your brain learns through repetition. That's how habits are formed, how your focus gets sharper, and how confidence is built. The more you do something, the more it feels natural. Less resistance kicks in, and you build up momentum. Once you've got that momentum, things start to get easier. If you're serious about growing, stop chasing results. Start repeating the right habits again and again. Keep it up until you hardly recognize yourself, until others notice the change, until you feel different in how you carry yourself. That's the payoff, and it's worth the wait. You already know what you need to do. You don't need another plan. Just stick to what works. 1 hour a day, one focused action, one habit that lifts you, one small step at a time. Repeat that and do it again tomorrow and the day after that until it becomes part of who you are. That's how you become better. That's how you take control of your life. Not with noise or speed, but with quiet, focused, relentless repetition. That's where real change happens. Now, it's your turn to live.